Good evening, everybody. Matrix here, and here's my watch list for May 17th. Oh, wait, bring in the futures right now. We are gapping down by 8 points on the futures. That's 80 cents on the SPY in accordance to the close. Today, we had quite the push, but late after hours or late day, we get a little pull down from here. Now, where is the stock right now? According to the futures, we are trading a little bit below here. So around this area, let's mark that off. Blue, current price. Now what I want to see tomorrow is probably right at the open, pull down and test this pre-market high at 286, 286.50 right here and see what it does. Okay. Overall, I mean, the SPY has been running a few days now. Today it did gap up over the 50 EMA. Let's see here. Yeah, today it gap up over the 50 EMA and it ran. And by the close, it got a little ahead of itself. So now it's pulling back down a little bit. So tomorrow it can very easily go both ways. This year, this area, 285.76 is interesting. Let's mark that off, 285.76. Okay, this area looks interesting to me. It looks like support for the days tomorrow. It should get a bounce from here at the where is it? Yeah, right around here. So I'm expecting a bounce if the SPY is bullish, right? I'm expecting the pullback to come down to no further than here at this this area over here in the near term. We have a very near term support, and perhaps it might come through a little bit. Let's see. It might come down as far as 285.23. All right. From there, I am anticipating a bounce back up. Looks like it's going to be a chop day from the way it's opening and gapping down. I mean, with such a massive pull up, with such a massive push this morning, a pullback is essential, in my opinion. And yeah, perhaps a pullback to here, 286.5 or 285.75 before it double bottoms and bounce or higher low from there. We'll see. If it gaps up tomorrow, then definitely watch the highs. I think it's kind of losing steam from the way it closed. So it does need a day to relax and kind of consolidate. I mean, it might gap up, test these highs, and then come right back down and then start holding sideways around this area, right? So that's my take on the SPY. Remember, this is only my opinion and shouldn't be taken as financial advice. So let's get into the watch list. First up, Pinterest. Pinterest, amazing earnings report. Basically, they announced that their guidance for the year is not going to be good. Okay, now if you're looking at this daily chart, I mean, Pinterest was the probably one of the better performing IPOs of the past month and so. And after this run up and basing, you see a lot of people are trying to get in, right? And they're thinking, oh, this thing is basing. It's gonna. I missed the first run, so I'm gonna get in on the second run. And today, as you can see, people kind of bought into the earnings right here on this run up, and they got crushed. Okay, and they got crushed hard. Now, looking at this right here, looking back on the daily chart, I mean, we have a nice horizontal support line. As you can see, the stock was trading a little bit in this range area from the 28 to the 30 area, right? So let's mark that off right now. And then after right before the earnings, we had a breakout, but since the earnings was the guidance was bad and poor, the reaction was not good, right? So now that it has snapped this range and under, it gapped down a lot. So now that it has snapped to 28, I definitely don't think it can get back above 28, not for this quarter anyways. Um, with that said, whoever bought here before they announce earnings, or whoever, yeah, before they announce earnings, I mean, this is a panic sell. This is a panic sell for sure. And my question is, I mean, what I want to know tomorrow is if they're still gonna keep panicking, or is the panic over, and this is now an overreaction. But either way, as you can see after hours, we do have some sort of a range here from the 25.75 to 26.50. Okay, right now the stock is currently sitting a tad bit above 26, so I want to see what does tomorrow in the morning pre-market. If it gaps down under this range, or if it gaps above this range. Within this range area, this is the no man's land, so you can't really pick a trade from here. I mean, if I were to actually take an educated guess, I would like to say that due to the fundamentals and the reaction, I would like to say that tomorrow, since it being the first day after it announced earnings, I would like to say that it's going to fade, okay, even though it has already gapped down so much. So if I had to take an educated guess, I am watching this 26.50 for the short, and bring it right back down to the support area of this 25 here. Now, 25 is very, very key. First of all, is a key psychological hold number, right? Second of all, it acted here as a close on the second day of IPO. And third, after hours, it literally just came hard from into 25 and reversed with a lot of power and momentum, right? So this 25 is a very key support area. Personally, I do like it to see it come back up to test 27 first. As you can see, I have it marked on my 30-minute chart here in the red. Okay, this is the more likely scenario of the resistance area. I mean, if you're taking a look at this, first of all, on the daily chart, right? It held support here on May 6th, held support here on May 14th, held some sort of support here on April 25th. Also, it was prior resistance, April 24th. So 27 is pretty key. If I'm coming into here on this 5-minute chart here, right? Let's draw this little horizontal line. You can see that we have snapped with a lot of momentum and volume down through this 27. Okay, the initial downfall here got bought right back up at 27, and then eventually it continues selling off and through 27, and now it's closing under 27, right? So prior support now becomes resistance. 27, very, very key. So watch out for that. I am going to look for the 27 short, actually. But if I were going to start in, I would start in around 26.5 on a very small starter size, just in case, so I don't miss the trade down. Now, the gap's down tomorrow. I want to see it hold 25 and make a higher low from here before I long. And if I were long, I would target 27, right? This 27.50 is basically right here on the daily chart. That's not too significant on the daily chart. I mean, it has something here and here, but more significantly, it's actually right here on the 5-minute chart, the 27.50, and it's a key psychological number. Okay, so this snapped as well on the 27.50. That's why I use the yellow line here. And then, of course, we have the 28, right? I do want to see it. If it gets under 25, it's gonna go. It's gonna come all the way back down to this 23 area. This is the IPO day, right? So we'll see. We'll see. The average true range for the stock is $2.39. So I mean, from 27 to 25, that's almost $2. I would pay myself definitely, and then maybe hold a little and see if I can get some lotto shares down, or the other way around. If it holds 25, you ride it back up to the 27, and that's where I would trade it, and that's how I would trade it tomorrow from 25 to 27. All right, pins. Next up, we have NVIDIA. NVIDIA is, well, as you can see, after hours, they announced earnings and we had a nice pop-up, nice dump down. All right, right here, a lot of people got crushed in here, right? Buying this pullback, they got crushed. This candle, this dump on them, I want to see the 1 minute chart actually and see how it really, really dumped on them. Holy cow. Like, I mean, 2 candles back to back. How far was this? 70, it was $1 candle, and 65, is it? Holy cow, is this a 250 candle? Yeah, this is a $2.50 candle. And this is also $2.50 candle. So back to back in 2 minutes, it tanks $5. All right, so whoever bought in this pullback seriously got crushed, and I feel bad for them, to be quite honest. But here is how I'm gonna trade it tomorrow. I mean, looking at the fundamentals real quick, the reason why it dumped like that, it's basically NVIDIA. They said the CFO said they're not going to announce the guidance for 2019 for now. They're not planning to give the 2019 guidance. Let me see if I can pull in the news right here. NVIDIA CFO says not planning to give for year 2019 guidance at this point. Now, to me, that's suspect, right? Last time a company did this, which was Apple, saying they're not going to announce the sales of their iPhones, that's suspect as well, and Apple tanked. Okay, so that's very suspect. I'm thinking this thing's going to die very, very soon. Looking on the daily chart right now, I mean, you can see we have a little box range here that we've been trading inside of, right? Let me dilute this color here real quick. Okay, so we, in the near term, we were trading in this little box range, okay? For the CFO to say something like that on the earnings report, I want to see a dump. But at first here, I'm thinking perhaps people might have shorted this after hours. I'm not sure. Maybe not, because what, 6 o'clock is pre-market or post-market close. So some people could have been able to short it. I'm not sure. I can't make a call on that. But what I'm watching is this after hours range here, the 163.50, very key. I want to see where it trades from tomorrow at the open. Okay, if I zoom out a little bit, you can see how this 163.50 reacted, right? It was a prior high. We're sitting right under it right now. The main resistance I'm looking at is 164.50, okay? And this is gathered all from the daily chart right here, okay? So this is the 164.50 area, main resistance, right? And then the 163.50 is basically this right here, okay? So I want to see what it does around here. If it can hold above 163.50, then we might get a squeeze, right? However, I do like the short side more, and I like to see it pop and drop, maybe hit this 164.50 area, drop down. The 162 is an interim support. Let me mark that off real quick. Okay, so you can see it's right here. It's today's highs and the May 14th close. And then I also have this 160 level marked out as key support. more 159.75. Okay, so this would be my target here if I'm going to short it. NVDA has average true range of almost $6, right? So we're looking at around 164.50 all the way down to 159. That's almost $6. So that's probably how it's going to trade tomorrow. We'll see. I like to get short though. If it rejects here 164.50 to 165 area, get short, ride it down. Major target 160. Okay, interim target 162. NVDA. Zoom would be next. Zoom. A lot of analysts initiated on Zoom. Let me see, check the date on it real quick here. Okay, so on May 13th, all the analysts chimed in on the buy rating on Zoom or hold rating, right? And they were targeting the $80 area. Okay, a majority of them were targeting the $80 area, and today we had the 80 breakout. Now, as you can see, I mean, late day, it started pulling back from noon here because the stock is a tad bit overextended. What I want to look at right now is tomorrow at the open, I want to see how this 83 holds up. Okay, if it holds up as a support area, because as you can see, very obvious in the late day, it kind of held support. So if this 83 snaps and stays under, I do like to trade it back down to the 80 level. Okay, so this would be my target right here on the breakout. I do like that. Okay. However, I mean, looking at this, I'm expecting, I'm suspecting that a lot of short sellers piled in during the late lunch here. Okay, so with that said, expecting a cover pop. And looking at this right here real quick, we were trading inside of a very tight range right here. Okay, something like this. Looking for a cover pop back up and expecting kind of like a rejection in this 85.80s to 86.25 area. Okay, expecting a rejection from here. Whoever bought this 86 breakout, they're holding the bag right now and they're underwater. If it does pop back up, I do anticipate them to kind of cut some losses or get out a little bit. All because the stock is very overextended on the day. I mean, looking at this, when the 9 EMA started forming on the daily chart, it follows it quite well. But now that the stock is pretty extended, perhaps they'll do something like this on April 24th, gap up and then sell off, right? Gaps up around here, even better, 87.50. And I'll be watching for a double top, okay? My bias is I only want a long if it holds this 83. Otherwise, I definitely don't want a long. And if I'm longing, I'm going to be very careful when I'm coming up to this 86 area. Okay, so that's Zoom. And finally, we have Uber. Uber, let's load up some drawings here. I've been trading Uber since day one, so I've gotten to know the stock's behavior quite well. Today, I longed it from 42 and up. I ended up closing it out at 43. I wasn't at home to take profit at 44, but I took a majority of my profit at 43. So what this is, I mean, to me, it looks like a nice reversal and an uptrend, but we are coming into a key area of 44. Now, these drawings have been on since day one, the highs here, right? And you see how it's still reacting. I mean, if I'm gonna bring this triangle out, this triangle, oh, sorry, this rectangle was from day one. So we're coming into resistance area here, 43.50 to 44. So I am actually going to be watching for a pullback tomorrow, like a double top and a pullback at 44. Main reason is it's because it's just been running up and haven't pulled back. Now, today we did close above the IPO opening price. So I'm expecting a pullback probably back down to this 42 area and then bounce from there. Let me turn off the pre-market data real quick and draw this trend line here. From 37, okay, where there's high volume, and then basically it followed up. Okay, so looking at this bar, you have high volume. I connected the low here to this bar with massive volume. Okay, and then it followed through on the next day, high volume bar, and then it's still following through on this day, high volume bar, and today at the open, where the most volume came in, it's still following through this trend line. Now, after just a little bit before the close, it snapped trend under 43. Now turn back on the post-market data we have. We are seeing it round up a little bit after hours, but let's see what it does at the 44. Okay, if it gets up here, and I think it will definitely get up over the 43.50 area, and if it starts holding 43.50, I do like the long. I do like the long from the 43.50 if it holds, and anticipate the breakout of 44 and tag this IPO highs here. However, I mean, if it gaps down tomorrow, I'm looking for a hold around this 42 area. Interestingly enough, this 41.50 played really well today. This yellow line 41.50 was the after hours close from IPO day one. Okay, and it's basically where it opened up today. And let's take a look here. Yeah, and that's where it shot up from. Okay, so these support and resistance, very interesting. I'm also going to mark 43 because 43 was very, very solidified today as some sort of support as I was watching it. So let's take a look at that tomorrow. Two plans, right? Long and short. So if it gets back above this 43.50 area and stays above here, take the long, anticipate the breakout and the squeeze. Pay myself at 44 for sure, because it's a key area. If it pops up fast, gets stuffed at 44, I'm going to get short, anticipating the pullback day, pull it right back down to 42. That's Uber. And that's basically my watch list. There's also one ticker I'll be watching tomorrow. Luckin, LK. Okay. Luckin Coffee is, people are calling it the Starbucks of China. All right. And they are going to be IPOing tomorrow. I've been looking at the news and I wasn't able to find the initial IPO price, but I did read up on some of the fundamentals. And what really caught my eye is that this company is growing really, really fast, and they don't have much debt. They have a lot of cash as well, right? Looking at the fundamentals, basically, what intrigued me was in December 31st, 2017, this company only had 9 stores. And a year later, since last year, December 31st, 2018, they now have 2,073 stores from December 2018. Okay, so they're growing stupid from 9 stores to 2,000 stores within a year. And up to date now, coming into March, the last time they did a store count, they had 2,300 stores, if I remember the numbers correctly. And what's interesting about this, it's literally designed to be kind of like the Starbucks of China. And what's good about them is that they don't use cashiers to take money from customers. It's all done through a payment app people and customers can pay literally through the phone and just walk in the store and pick up their drink. So they don't use a cashier. So that saves labor costs. In my opinion, that will also go to margins as well. I definitely like that. At the rate the company is growing and the fact that they don't have much debt, I was actually looking at their prospectus and looking at their income statement. They don't have much debt, and they can definitely, if they want to, pay it all off. Now, the reason why they're doing an IPO, first of all, it's a very young company and they're doing it early. I like that idea. Okay, they're trying to raise money to expand more stores, do more research and development, etc., etc. And a lot of their stores are built in and around business areas and universities. Okay, so I definitely like the company on the fundamental side. Morgan Stanley is heading the underwriting as well as Credit Suisse. And if I remember correctly, I think Citibank is also heading it, but don't quote me on that. I know Morgan Stanley and Credit Suisse is heading the underwriting there. So I definitely am very excited to be watching that IPO. And I do like the fundamentals. I do like the fact that they're growing very, very fast. And personally, I like to long. I like the same plan as long as I did for Uber on day one. As long as it holds above its opening print price, I like the long. I am going to anticipate right out the gates it's going to pull down a little bit and then hold the print and then long it. Yeah, that's my plan for Luckin Coffee. The ticker symbol is LK. So that will be on my side watch. And thanks for watching. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all bright and early tomorrow. Ciao.